Benjamin Netanyahu isn't going down without a fight. Israel's prime minister dismissed the possibility of facing corruption charges as a witch hunt by the media. Attorney General Avichai Mendablit announced on Thursday that he would indict Netanyahu on bribery and breach of trust charges from 3 separate investigations. Netanyahu, however, denies any wrongdoing and called on the people to trust and allow him to continue to serve as prime minister.
I intend to serve you and the country as prime minister for many more years, but it's up to you. It's not up to civil servants, it's not up to the television studios, it's not up to pundits and journalists. It's only up to you.
News of the possible prosecution has disappointed many in Israel, and some have called for Netanyahu to step down.
It's not an easy day when the prime minister is accused of these allegations. I think maybe we should consider a limit time that the prime minister can be in office, because when you are in office lots of time, maybe that will be the result.
I think this is the end point. Netanyahu should say goodbye and leave us as fast as he can before he gets other issues that he doesn't know about. He was good, but that's it. Give the change for young and new people to do the work.
This decision pleases the Palestinian people. He is accused with 2 files, and when it comes to crimes against humanity, he can sink under thousands of charges. This is in the interest of the Palestinian people. Netanyahu is known as a global criminal, not only on a Palestinian level, but on a global level.
Netanyahu could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted of bribery, and up to 3 years if found guilty of fraud and breach of trust. Lionel Donovan, TRT World.
For more on this story, let's bring in TRT World analyst Ahmed Bedier from Washington, D.C. Ahmed, thanks for joining us today. Netanyahu has faced challenges before in politics, certainly, but nothing quite like this. How serious is this for the Israeli prime minister?
The Israeli prime minister has been an icon in Israeli politics for decades, but these charges and these upcoming indictments could end his political career. So these are serious, and is chipping away at his image as some sort of individual who has been in the defense of the Israeli state and the Jewish people. It's painting him more as someone who is corrupt, who is pulling favors for his friends in exchange for money and a luxury lifestyle.
What are some of the charges, and what are Netanyahu's options?
Well, they primarily focus on 3 different cases, but the thing that they have in common is that they're exchanging money for favors. In one case, for example, easing legislative laws in favor of the leading telecom company in Israel in exchange for Netanyahu providing, so in that situation, instead of giving him money, providing him with favorable reviews about Netanyahu and his wife in the press on one of the most popular news websites there. In another case, a billionaire producer, Aaron Milchan, who brought movies like Pretty Woman and others, is asked Netanyahu to intervene with the United States Secretary of State to renew his visa, his 10-year visa to the United States, and the like. So again, exchanging money for favors. And some of the things are not necessarily money. The favors are, or the gifts are, could be anywhere from champagne and cigars. Apparently, the prime minister has a taste for champagne, fine champagne, and cigars.
How is this affecting his election campaign? We have the election coming up in April. Are his poll numbers taking a hit?
His poll numbers are taking a hit. This is probably the most challenging for his political career. It jeopardizes his coalition. We're seeing them, Netanyahu now actually go to what would be considered off-limits fringe groups, joining alliances with racist parties within Israel. Parties in the past have been even associated with terrorism, and he's getting condemned for it, not only in the Israeli press, but also in the United States. So this is kind of unprecedented territory. His predecessor, Ehud Olmert, faced bribery charges, and he was forced to resign, and 3 months later he was indicted, eventually being convicted and went to jail. If he is indicted while in office, it'll be unprecedented and not clear whether he can continue to serve as prime minister while under indictment. Definitely his political allies have said that they will not serve or share power with someone who's been indicted.
Okay, so that's my next question. Netanyahu has faced calls for him to resign in the past, but he has remained defiant and stayed in office. I mean, what is he likely to do? Is he likely to heed these calls to resign, or could he be forced out of office?
Knowing Netanyahu, he is not someone who backs down. He digs his heels in. He will continue to be defiant. And he's been in power for so long. This is his second round of being, prime minister. He's been there now for the past 10 years. He thinks he can survive this. Only time will tell, but definitely public opinion polls are turning against him, and other leaders within the political establishment within Israel are also turning against him. So if he can't form an alliance or coalition government, he may not have any choice except to resign and pull out.
All right, TRT World analyst Ahmed Bedier, thank you so much for your insight into this.